Take off your 6 21mm lug nuts. Now what we're going to do is push back this caliper. Right inside there's the piston. Use a small pry bar. Just go right in between the caliper and the pad. Go nice and slow. As you do this, it's pushing the caliper piston in. You can see that the piston's all the way in. Let's move ahead. We're going to remove this and this right here. Those are your caliper sliders with a 17mm. Look for fluid. This looks dry. It's good to go. You're going to remove this bolt right here. This bolt right here. Still using your 17mm. Grab your rotor, give it a little shake, remove it. Take your bracket, remove your pads. Remove your tins. Clean up the areas where the tins were. That's also where the pads are going to ride. I'd say that looks pretty good. Of course, you could also use a wire brush if you felt it's necessary. Use a little bit of parts cleaner. Alright, we'll let this dry. If your slider pin looks like this, that's right where the boot's going to ride. You need to make sure you clean it up. Those look much better. Now we're just going to clean up the tins. Use a little bit of caliper grease. Right along here and in there. Same thing here. And of course the other side. We'll get our tins back in. So I'm going to go here. Clean up the mating area on your axle where the rotor's going to ride. Now we're going to spray it down with some Never Seas.
Can I just get them?
All right, let's get our rotor on here. We've got our bracket. Slide it in. Caliper bracket bolts. Bottom those out. Torque them to 77 foot-pounds. Torqued, torqued. Take your brake pads. Slide it into the bracket. You should feel them move around freely. If they're super tight, you need to clean up your bracket better. Prep your caliper using a little bit of caliper grease. Just go right along the piston and then both of these ears. You only need to lubricate the areas that touch up against the pad. Put your caliper over the pads. Being careful for your slider boots. Take your caliper sliders, add a little bit more caliper grease. Snug those up. We're going to torque these down to manufacturer specifications. We're going to torque these to 65 foot-pounds. Torqued, torqued. Let's get this tire up here. Snug these up. Let's torque these lug nuts down with our 21mm socket to 83 foot-pounds. All right, now we'll just do the same to the other side of the vehicle. So now that we've finished the brakes, we're just going to make sure we pump up the brake pedal.